Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lillian from Kenya to Montana, USA. It's been a long time since I was online, and today it's a week since I was here. And yeah, we've been hustling for life, looking for dollars, running around, working, and doing other things, resting. So I'm back again. My inbox is full just with positive vibes, people telling me you're doing good, we appreciate what you're doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for coming to my inbox, and I have other questions in my inbox that I would like to go through. I'll just go through the general questions, somebody asking how long does Avant contract take? It takes 3 years. Avant contract takes 3 years, but you can buy it off, and if you can do extra shifts, it takes less time. Some people live with 2.5 years. Some people buy it even with after 1 year. You can buy your contract off if you have the money. Another question here is what does it mean to have a single state license? And can it be endorsed? Yeah, when we come from Kenya, when we come from Africa or wherever you are coming from, most of our licenses are one state license. But when you want to come, like my state is Montana, if I want to go and work in Texas, I have to I'll endorse my license and I'll be able to go. It doesn't take a long time and it's not a difficult process, so you can do that. Okay, I had another conversation here. It's about interview, recruitment, Avant recruitment. Somebody had gone through recruitment process, has done all the 2 exams and passed, has done all those interviews they asked, and then when they came to about money, Avant will ask you about if you have some money, because they don't want you to get stuck somewhere in the process. So I think, I don't know what he said, but now it looks like he did not give a positive response. Remember, you are always rich, you have money. They're not coming, there's no way they'll come to prove. Always say you have businesses, your accounts are loaded. Yeah, say you have money. You will cross the bridge when you reach there. But for now, in your interviews, just say you got money, you have it. Yeah. Okay, someone here is, it's a long message, yeah? But what I understand is asking whether he has 2 options. He has businesses in Kenya doing very well, and he also has an opportunity. He was lucky to be recruited with MedPro as a nurse to come here in America. So he's asking, is it worth to come to US or just continue with nursing in Kenya with his businesses? I would say if I was in your shoe, I would choose to come here, work and expand my businesses. Your businesses can go international, so it's upon you to make a good choice. But I would advise you to come get the cash, invest more, expand your business, go international, and then you can either choose to go back to Kenya or remain here. Okay, how long did it take from the time Avant called you to the time you traveled to USA? It's a long journey, it's a long process. It took me exactly 2.5 years since I was recruited by Avant until the time I landed here in US. It was 2.5 years. Remember, the COVID hit. The COVID caused a lot of backlog in the embassy. The only issue is the US embassy in Kenya. That is where the problem is. But the process, the agent has no problem. It's the embassy that will delay us. So it took me 2.5 years. Okay, I got 6 questions here. I have 6 questions here from someone. The first question is, does Avant allow you to work at another hospital? I will tell you to read your contract, and no, read that contract you are sent by Avant or any other agent, and know whether it allows you or not. Personally, I did not read, and I don't work anywhere else, so read your contract. Again, wherever you are working, where I work, there is a lot of extra shifts, so I don't need to go somewhere else. But you can find out from your agency. You can also call the agent and ask, or just read the contract and you'll find everything there. Question 2, how did they decide to pay you your hourly rate? The hourly rate is already, before in your contract, they already send you the hourly rate. I don't know how they do it, but before, on the first, they send you that agreement in the first days during your recruitment, and you sign that contract. It has your hourly rate. I don't know how it does, but when you come here, they increase. That is not what you get. They increase the salary. Question number 3, was it difficult for your spouse to find a job in Montana? Jobs are everywhere. Jobs are everywhere. They're employing everywhere. It depends with your spouse if he's choosy or not. So he can grab anything as long as he gets some pocket money and some money to pay some of your bills. So jobs are everywhere. They are always employing. What made you select Montana? What made me select Montana? Montana was not on my list. They asked me to give three states, and Montana was not among them. But when I saw that opportunity, because my what is it called? It took like 5 days to come out. There's something that took like 5 days to come out, and yeah, I got an opportunity, a job opportunity. They look for where your qualification matches. So I got in Montana, Billings Clinic, and I did not reject. I really wanted to come. So I came. Yeah. Sorry. Question number 5. Other than lunch program, are you eligible for any other financial? Other than lunch, maybe he's talking about school. Lunch program. Is it in school? No, you are not paying any. You are not paying any school fees. You are not buying any textbooks. You are not paying lunch. You are not paying breakfast. That is for school. And other places, we have a financial help everywhere, especially in Montana. But now, if you are coming as a nurse, you are not qualified because you are being paid much above the minimum pay wage here. You are paid more, so you'll not get any financial help as a nurse. Another question, what was the interview process like with Avant regarding the questions? Avant has like 3 or 4 interviews, so I don't know which one you are talking about. What was the interview process like with Avant regarding the questions? They have like 3 to 4 interviews, and all these interviews is just to know just to gauge what you know and where to place you. So if you talk, it's like they ask you a lot of medical and you are so good in medical, they'll get you a medical like unit. If you are so much into surgical and you are so good in procedures or what, you get into surgical. I think they just gauge to see what you are good in and where to find you a job. So, but what they ask is what you know. They don't ask anything outside nursing. Okay, those are the 6 questions from this person. Oh my God, he sent me on 3rd of June. I'm so sorry. But there were so many questions, I could not type the answers, all of them. Another question from somewhere here. Somebody. Okay, he's asking, I have watched your video, but approximate budget you used but you didn't mention on. Okay, I have watched your video about approximate budget you used, but you didn't mention on air tickets. Approximately how much per person? Is it return or one way? Oh yeah, I didn't mention about the air tickets in my budget, what I used for relocation. So on my tickets, for me, I haven't paid for my ticket. It was around $1,400 because it's on one way. It was one way, $1,400. That was in August, and it was booked within like 10 days. That's why it was expensive. We booked our family's air ticket through an agent. It's cheaper through an agent, and we booked like 2 months early. We booked 2 months early through an agent, and it was a bit cheaper. It was one way, and each person, my husband, we paid around 70,000. That is 70,000 Kenya shillings, and for the kids, each kid we paid 60,000 Kenyan shillings. It was a one way. Yeah, I believe going through an agent is cheaper. Someone is also asking what mainly disqualifies people from the process of relocating. What mainly disqualifies people from the process of relocating? So I believe is a person's attitude that disqualifies her from the process of relocating. If you want to relocate, you can relocate, especially if you have the opportunity like nurses. The only thing that will disqualify you is your attitude. Trying to close this door, my kid is here. Okay, is your attitude. If you don't want, that one will disqualify you. Again, if you are thinking, if your question maybe was about disqualifies you from the agents, from being recruited by the agents, is different from your question. Your question is what disqualifies you from the process of relocating. Yeah. Okay, another question. Hello Lillian, if I may ask, what documents are needed at the embassy? At the embassy, during your interview, your agent will send, if you are a nurse, I believe you are a nurse, your agent will send you some original documents, and you will have to take your own documents, personal documents like your passport, your ID, your marriage certificate, your birth certificates for the kids, for your family, and you'll need to go with those one certificates, nursing certificates, all those, and licenses. Someone is asking, how is it with 6 patients? I think he's asking how is it to nurse 6 patients. It's very heavy. It depends with the kind of patients you have, but mostly you have like 2 to 3 bedridden patients, and then 3 assist patients. It's heavy having 6 patients, though you'll have a CNA to help you, but it's tough. By the time you get to morning, at night you get the maximum of 6, during the day you get a maximum of 5. So it's not that easy, but you just go through, you make it somehow by morning. Okay, another question. How did you go about Kenya license verification or a letter of good standing from NCK for Montana Nursing Board? Verification is done by the Nursing Council of Kenya. There are forms you fill. When you go to CGFNS, there are forms you fill, and then you send them to NCK. You'll download those forms, you fill them, and take them to NCK for verification. You will pay, I think, 12,500. NCK will verify and send to your board of... No, they will send to CGFNS directly. So you don't get involved. You just fill them and send to NCK and pay the 12,500. I don't know if it's been increased, but that's what we paid. So they are the ones who send those verification details to CGFNS. You don't see them. And then about the Board of Nursing wanting the verification letter from NCK, I think it depends with Board of Nursing with the states you are going to, with the state you are registering with. Some states are very complicated. I understand even some states, when you come here, maybe your spouse is a nurse and you're already here. If he wants to do an NCK, if he wants to do NCLEX, he has also to do the English exam. But some states, they don't need English exam when your spouse is already here. So you have to read the requirements of your Board of Nursing of the states you are registering with. Some are very complicated, some are very detailed, some take too long. So you have to know which. You go through the requirements, and you can just go on their website and type there the requirements for an international trained nurse to work in the USA. Yeah, and you'll get all that you want. Okay, asking, did you live? Okay, there's a long positive vibes, and then the question is there asking, did you live with your family the day you left Kenya for Florida, and where did they stay as you got your transition exercise? Okay, I did not come with my family on the day I came. My family came direct to Montana. I went to Florida for 6 weeks and came to Montana. Then my family came to Montana. If you are coming with your family, you must be having like a hotel. You can get a hotel, but Florida, they will not accept you in there. So you have to get a hotel, or you can take them to, maybe you can get a house where you are going to work in the state you are going to work, so that you leave them settled in the house and then you go to Florida. Again, if you have family members or friends, you can bring your family, let them stay with your family members or friends, so that you can go for your 6-week transition program and then take your family to your new house.